Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel which is Explore Yourself, Banking and General Knowledge, etc. Today I am going to describe about suggestions for considerations during the 13th Bipartite Settlement and 10th Joint Note. Grant of Old Pension Scheme OPS benefit to employees recruited through pre-1st April 2010 advertisements. Introductions. Respected representatives of the Indian Banks Association IBA, United Forum of Bank Unions UFBU, Department of Financial Services DFS, Government of India on the management of public sector banks. At the outset, we sincerely appreciate the continuous efforts being made by all stakeholders towards improving the service conditions and welfare of bank employees through the 13th Bipartite Settlement and the 10th Joint Note. These negotiations present a valuable opportunity to address a long pending issue affecting a specific category of employees who have been deprived of the old pension scheme despite having applied under recruitment notifications issued before the introductions of the new pension system (NPS) in the banking industry. It is therefore humbly requested that these genuine concerns may kindly be examined with compassion, fairness, and equity. Ground of the issue. The Government of India discontinued the old pension scheme for central government employees joining service on or after 1st April 2004 and introduced the National Pension System (NPS). Subsequently, the government recognized that many candidates who applied for posts advertised before 1st April 2004 where the recruitment notifications specifically mentioned pension benefits under the old pension scheme. However, due to administrative delays, examinations, interviews, document verifications, and appointment processes extended beyond 1st April 2004, these candidates joined government service after the cutoff date. Recognizing the principles of fairness and legitimate expectations, the Government of India decided that such employees whose recruitment advertisements were issued before 1st April 2004 would be allowed to opt for coverage under the old pension scheme instead of NPS. Similar situations in the banking industry. A comparable situation arose in the public sector banking industry when the new pension scheme replaced the existing pension system with effect from 1st April 2010. Several public sector banks issued recruitment advertisements during 2009 clearly mentioning pension as one of the service benefits available to successful candidates. For example, the Bank of India Clerical Recruitment Project 2009, the advertisement expressly listed pension among the employees' benefits available under the industry level settlement. However, although these recruitment processes commenced well before 1st April 2010, many candidates could not actually join the banks before that date because the recruitment process, including written examinations, interviews, verification, medical examinations, and issuance of appointment letters, was entirely controlled by the respective banks. Consequently, these candidates joined service after 1st April 2010 and were compulsorily brought under the new pension scheme despite applying against advertisements that promised pension benefits. Grounds for consideration. This situation deserves sympathetic considerations for several reasons. Firstly, the recruitment advertisements were issued before the implementations of the new pension scheme in banks, creating a legitimate expectation among applicants that the existing pension rules would continue to apply. Secondly, the delay in appointment was entirely administrative and beyond the control of the candidates. They had completed every stage of the recruitment process as and when required by the recruiting banks. Thirdly, candidates should not be placed at a disadvantage merely because the recruitment process extended beyond the cut-off date due to procedural timelines. Fourthly, the Government of India has already accepted this principle in respect of central government employees whose recruitment advertisements were issued prior to the implementations of NPS, extending similar treatment to public sector bank employees recruited through pre-1st April 2010 advertisements would promote parity, fairness, and consistency in public employment. A humble request. In view of the above, it is respectfully requested that during the ongoing negotiations of the 13th Bipartite Settlement and 10th Joint Note, the IBA, UFBU, Department of Financial Services, Government of India, and public sector banks may kindly consider providing a one-time popcorn for employees who satisfy the following conditions. Recruitment advertisement or notification was issued before 1st April 2010. The advertisement specifically mentioned pension as one of the service benefits. The employee applied pursuant to the advertisement. The employee joined service on or after 1st April 2010 solely because the recruitment process was completed after the cut-off date. The delay in joining was not attributable to the candidate. Such employees may kindly be permitted to exercise an option to be covered under the old pension scheme in place of the new pension scheme, subject to appropriate terms and conditions as may be decided by the competent authorities. Benefits of the proposal. Acceptance of this proposal would remove a long-standing anomaly affecting a limited category of employees, uphold the principles of natural justice, legitimate expectations, and equity, maintain consistency with the approach already adopted by the Government of India in similar circumstances, enhance employee confidence, morale, and trust in institutional fairness, resolve a genuine grievance without creating any disadvantage for other categories of employees. Conclusion. The present request is not intended to seek any special privilege, but only to ensure equitable treatment for employees who responded to the recruitment advertisements issued under the pension regime prevailing at that time. Since the circumstances closely resemble those already acknowledged and addressed by the Government of India for central government employees, it is earnestly hoped that the concerned authorities will consider extending similar relief to eligible public sector bank employees. We respectfully request the IBA, EFBU, Department of Financial Services, Government of India, and all public sector banks to examine this matter with empathy, fairness, and the spirit of justice while finalizing the 13th bipartite settlement and the 10th joint note. Disclaimer. This suggestion is intended solely as a constructive policy recommendation in the interest of equitable treatment of similarly placed public sector bank employees. It reflects a request based on principles of fairness, legitimate expectations, and consistency with comparable government decisions. The final decision rests exclusively with the competent authorities, including the Government of India, Department of Financial Services, Indian Banks Associations, United Forum of Bank Unions, and the respective public sector banks, in accordance with applicable laws, regulations, settlements, and policy decisions. Thank you very much for your patience. Request for like, subscribe, and share.